The show is kind of an exploration into whether I'm an optimist or a pessimist, and how has that changed since I was younger. So it's are you a glass half full or half empty? Either way, the show's for you. You should come either way, because you know, if you're a glass half empty, it means you bought a drink in the first place. So I say optimist. There's a story at the start of the show which is about how I found myself at 3 o'clock in the morning buying a bottle of everyday vodka and a pregnancy test in Tesco's, you know? So, you know, you can find comedy in anywhere, really. You can find it on Transport for London. You can find it definitely within the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson. You can find it within the government. I think comedy is so massive at the moment because we're in a recession, and whenever we're in a recession, people need to laugh. Also, comedy thrives more under a Conservative government. People feel like they've got something to kick back against. So it's nice because comedy feels like you're having your voice heard, you know, in maybe even a small way. But I think that's why it's so big now. I also think there's just lots of people out there doing great work. There's so many amazing women coming through at the moment, and all of the interesting stuff for me, I think, is coming from the women because, you know, we've not been at the front of things, so we've just had to get really, 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 really good. And that means that you're not exposed too early. In a weird way, being held back means that actually, when you are ready to go, you're fully formed and full of ideas. And I think it's really exciting at the moment. Laura Lex, she's coming through at the moment. Mae Martin, one of the newer acts. Lucy Beaumont, who I think is taking her first show to Edinburgh this year. Lots of great women coming through. I think London audiences are very savvy, but it depends, because you could go to East London, it could be a very hip audience, you know, or somewhere like Up the Creek or the Backyard Comedy Club, for example, which get a real mix of kind of hipsters from East London and then just city blokes or just like geezers from South East London. And it's great because you could go to Up the Creek and you could do, you know, feminist stuff, and I don't say it's feminist because I don't like to state what it is. I think I've failed if I have to, but you know, I could do some, you know, my stuff, and then I'll get Cockney blokes come up afterwards going, I love that girl, never thought of it like that before, really enjoyed you, and you'll get a little slap on the face and you'll be like, thanks. So sometimes London audiences really surprise you, but they're very, very varied. So you've got your intellectual highbrow crowd, you've got your club going crowd, you've got your artsy sort of one-off nights and everything in between. So it's great that there's so much happening in London that you can go out and just, the beauty of London is there's stuff on every night. You could have an idea in the morning, go and do it on stage that night.